We're destined for good things. We're destined for good things. We're destined for good things.
Together we're going to go into this and just really look at how consistency can help better your life. And so also as a heads up, once we're done with the consistency segment, Malia and I are going to start a consistency challenge that you can actually join in with us and do. The details for that will come later on once we do the consistency segment, and we hope that you can join us during that. Alright, so here's the dictionary definition of consistency. And so it says degree of density, firmness, viscosity. Actually, that's not the definition I want to look at. But definition number 2, it talks about being a steadfast adherence to the same principles, course, form of action, or etc. And it gives an example. There is a consistency in its pattern of behavior. It deals with your ability to continue doing something at an equal or greater level than you have been doing it in the past. And now I'd like to get a little more specific here. Now when we're talking about consistency, there are 2 things that you can be consistent in. You can be consistent in something that is going to benefit you and those around you, or you can be consistent in something that is going to be detrimental to you and detrimental to those around you. And we want to specifically focus, of course, on the things that we can be consistent in that's going to benefit us and benefit those around us. So that's specifically what we're going to focus on being consistent in this video. Very important distinction there. And now there are multiple reasons why consistency is important. One of these reasons is because consistency helps to develop in you a pattern of trustworthiness. And what I mean by that is that when people see that you're consistent, when you start the job, you finish it. When you say you're gonna be there, you show up. Begin something doing well, you finish it doing well. They realize that you're a consistent person and they begin to trust you. Trust is a friend. It's a best friend with consistency. Wherever there is consistency, there will be trust. And a really neat thing is that not only does consistency help you gain trust with others, it also helps you trust yourself. You see, on a subconscious level, we all, just like everybody evaluates our actions, our deeds, our words to see whether or not we are trustworthy people, on a subconscious level, we evaluate our own actions, our own deeds, our own words, and something that others can evaluate, we also evaluate our own thoughts to see if we are trustworthy people. And when you develop a pattern of consistency and you begin to trust yourself, that has huge, immense rewards, because you realize that when you say something, you'll do it. You see, a lot of people start things, whether it's New Year's resolutions or they start promises to themselves. I'm gonna stop doing that, that's bad for me. I'm going to start doing this, that's good for me. I'm gonna lose weight. I'm gonna, all these different promises they make, and then they don't keep them. When that happens, it's part of the reason part of the reason that happens is because they haven't built up a level of trust within themselves. So when they say these things, they don't even trust the words as they're coming out of their own mouths. So by being consistent, you build up trust for yourself. You start trusting yourself. When you say things like this, when you say you're going to stop doing this bad thing or you're going to start doing this good thing, you actually trust yourself, and the actions will follow. So that's just one benefit of consistency. And what's another benefit of consistency that you can think of, Malia?
So I would like to incorporate a little fairy tale into one of the reasons why I think consistency is important. I think it's a story we all know. It's the tortoise and the hare. It's the story of how there's a race going on, and the hare starts out all fast and running and I'm gonna do this, and he gets confident because he did so well at first that he stops and takes a nap. And meanwhile, the tortoise just kind of plods along consistently, and because he is continuously taking steps towards his goal, even if he's not necessarily going faster than anyone else, he gets there eventually. And he ends up getting there first because he didn't get ahead of himself mentally. So it's a really, really great quality to be able to cultivate within yourself, to be continuously taking steps towards what you want. So that's what I have learned about being consistent.
And that is an extremely good point. You see, going to that example that Malia just used, when you look at the hair was fastest. It was, Speedy Gonzalez, if you will. And the reason that it didn't win is because it wasn't consistent. You see, it had the speed, it had the skill, it had the talent, but it stopped along the way to its goal. In the same way, people who are, and this is why another reason why consistency is so important. People who have less talent, less skill, less natural ability can actually beat people who have the talent and the ability if they are consistent in doing what they're supposed to be doing and going about their goals. So consistency is a trump card. It can allow you to overcome or even outperform those who have more natural gifts in a thing than you do. That's another key of consistency. It's like a secret weapon. It's one of the reasons consistency.
Oh, I said definitely.
Yeah, it's one of the reasons consistency is so very important. So now we're going to look at how to become consistent, right? And we've got a step-by-step sort of list here of things that you can, practical things that you can start doing today, like literally after you finish watching this video, to become a consistent person. And so the first thing on the list is number 1, make a conscious decision and declaration to remain consistent. You want to say to yourself, I am committed to remaining consistent every day in my goal, whatever that goal is. Tell yourself, I am doing this. And you'll want to notice the statement is in the present tense. You should always declare this in the present tense. This technique commands your subconscious mind to act now, not later. This is something you want to use every morning when you wake up, and you can also say it every night before you go to sleep. You see, it will help your day, it'll help start off your day in the right direction and positively impact your conscious and subconscious thought. You see, whether the goal is to eat right, whether the goal is to exercise, you have your goals. You wake up and you make that declaration and you make that decision. Declare in addition to decide. You see, lots of us decide things, right? Lots of us think to ourselves, I'm going to do this, or I'm going to do that, or, I need to stop doing this, I need to start doing that. And then lots of times the actions don't follow what we wanted to do, what we decided to do. Well, there is a step-to-step process to get from thoughts to action. And in between your thoughts and your actions is what you say. What you say has direct influence on what you'll do. So you want to declare this decision every day.
Yeah, I definitely agree. Words are very powerful, and we can utilize the power of words to help us achieve our goals. Another thing you can do with that declaration is, it's kind of a fine line. I've noticed sometimes when I decide something, I'll tell everyone around me that I'm going to do it. And in the process of telling, it kind of gives you that reward that you would already be getting if you were actually doing it. Yeah, this is what I'm gonna do, and everyone around is wow, that's awesome. So there's a careful line between telling everyone you're gonna do it and telling a few select people that you're gonna do it, so that they can hold you accountable. And so that's something that I'm learning within myself, is to kind of keep these mysterious little secrets of what I'm plotting and planning, but also just make sure that the people around me who are close, who I know I care about their opinion and I want to have integrity with them, they know what I'm up to.
Right. Please click the links to see the rest of the video. And remember, at the end of the video, we'll be going over how you can join us for the Consistency Challenge.